Welcome back. My name is Timothy Judkins. I'm here with
Garrett.
And this is the Realty Resource Report, where we talk about the latest and greatest what's going on in the world. And apparently I am sassy today. That's what I was told before we got on the show, but we're gonna sidebar that.
We're not gonna be sassy.
Yeah, we're not gonna go deep into how sassy I am today, apparently. Put my phone on airplane mode because people are already calling. We're not gonna go into that. But how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was just really busy.
Valentine's weekend.
Yes, so I worked at the Roadhouse, which was packed, and then I also had a couple showings in St. C this weekend.
I imagine. I mean, there's a lot of Galentine's things going on. I know a lot of people went out and did things too. We didn't really do much. Like I was saying, I got flowers for all the girls at the house, and then I ended up cooking for them for dinner and all that, so that was cool. But pretty easy, weekend overall. President's Day. So happy President's Day to everybody. I don't know if we celebrate that or what's going on with that, but apparently it's a national holiday. Mail's not moving. Things
I know, I was waiting for that camera. It did not come today.
Got new technology we're looking forward to, definitely. What else is going on?
I had a couple showings in St. C, but that was really it over the weekend.
You were talking to a client earlier before we got on.
Yeah.
I feel like you have an influx of new interested parties.
Mm-hmm. Well, with the spring market coming around, I feel like I've been getting a lot of calls for people wanting to go look at houses, especially with the new houses in the market.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. We have more coming. I just put a new listing on the market Friday. It's actually my St. Clairsville listing I brought back to market. We are off market for the winter, and now we're back in action.
That's a really nice property.
Yeah, we didn't want to track mud. You guys get the salt and mud on your feet, and then you just start walking around and don't care. So we took time to clear that out. So it's all good now. Back on the market, it's at $299. So I believe there's more happening. Obviously, I just got a call from somebody who wants to put me into another listing situation. So we shall see. But let's get into the stories for the day.
I'm going to start off with story one.
Let me see what we got. Homeowners are holding on to homes longer?
Especially in the coastal states. So Americans are staying in their homes longer than ever, averaging over 8.5 years, largely due to the lock-in effect. This was created with the ultra-low pandemic era mortgage rates.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be fewer homeowner listings. There's going to be a tight supply. There's fewer options, and this is really big in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and California.
I mean, it's definitely a thing. Our interest rates are 6% right now, and I helped my father move from his house in Maryland to Virginia, and he's got a 2.2 interest rate. So what I'll tell you right now is he's not selling anytime soon.
No.
And that's really the biggest ticket for people is, are they going to spend more money going to the next property, or is it cheaper to stay where you're at? And the way that the economy is doing things that we're going to go into on my third story, it's kind of one of those things that, it makes sense, especially for people who are in coastal areas, like you said, California, Massachusetts, Connecticut. With only so many properties being out there, I know there's a lot of people who are just holding out in general. You know what I mean? Because they're seeing their value go through the sky. They spent $175 for this house. Now it's worth $800,000 in Connecticut. So it's a real thing. And I do think it's going to transition a little bit this year, but we shall see.
So if homeowners aren't selling, you'd expect the rebound slower, and that leads us to story number 2.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. The housing market rebound isn't here just yet. It's one of those things where it's more of a reset. It's not a rebound. So in the last couple of years, it's been a roller coaster ride. People have been doing anything and everything they want to do in this market. They're buying properties at dirt cheap. They're making tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars that they've never made on properties that are skyrocketing in value. But as of right now, like we said before, because the interest rate is staying at 6%, now strategy is coming into the market more than the lottery frenzy we've had since COVID. So now that we have some kind of stabilization and moderation when it comes to prices and listings, it's one of those things that it says even for sellers, this is the time to even be more strategic. I don't want to beat you guys up too much because I always say that, but it's one of those things that we have a stable market now, so why not get back to the fundamentals and help you move forward to get these houses? We have a great buyer tip to talk more about that. But
yeah, I feel like proper pricing right now is definitely rewarding, especially for sellers. And we're back on here.
Don't know what happened. We're back though. We're back. We were on
We
story.
left off of story 2, so I'm gonna talk about story 3.
Let's do it.
Okay. So the U.S. added 130,000 jobs in January. The source is The Guardian. The U.S. added 130,000 jobs in January, but forecasts overall for 2025 show economic growth were downgraded, signaling. Oh my gosh, I lost where I was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're.
Either way, it's one of those things where you added all of these jobs to the market, and it's wage growth versus housing affordability tension. Economic uncertainty, strategic decision making for both buyers and sellers is mandatory at this time. It's one of those things you can say we're adding jobs, but I just did a video on layoffs. So what does that actually mean when the statistics and the numbers and the stories are going towards the specific programs and individuals that benefit from certain things? So with that being said, just because we see these headlines and these things are transforming and things are going in the right direction towards the economy, that does not mean that we do not need to be strategic and smart about how we are going about our process and what we're doing and how we're doing it. So if you want to own a home in 2026, this is where we're going to give you some ideas on the buyer and seller tip.
So I feel like we're seeing both. I think we just did a story about how you said people were losing their jobs. A lot of people were losing their jobs, and then now we're seeing 130,000 jobs are added. So I think it's really just both.
Yeah, I think it depends on the area, the industry, the business. But like I said, I wouldn't take these things into consideration for your next life transition. And yeah, what you got for the buyer tip?
The buyer tip. Buyer tip of the week, how to put yourself in the strongest position to buy in 2026. So really using the right agent is going to be the whole thing. So today's series buyers are using agent-powered tools like the MLS data, market alerts, schedules. Many brokerages, including RE/MAX, offer mobile apps synced with their CRM systems, meaning buyers can see homes the moment they hit the market, instant price changes, booking showings directly from your phone. Which is a huge advantage in this, especially I feel like with the time. I feel like if something hits the market, you want to jump on it. But really, what you want to take away is the advantage with using your apps, and especially the agent behind it. Having a strong agent will help when you're finding off-market properties, if it's coming sooner, just price trends and stuff like that.
I mean, it's an awesome thing where they say AI is not going to take over the world, but if you're working with an agent who's using AI, you have a better advantage than most people. And so we have technology and tools, especially here at RE/MAX, that will give the buyer an advantage. So what I mean by that is we have our own individual apps where we can give that to our buyers, and it would give you tips and tricks on what to do in the buying process. But not only that, show you when there's price changes and new things that are coming to the market. Not only that, but you can also book your showings from the app so you can get into the houses faster than everybody else. With that being said, if you do not have an agent who has that type of technology, this is why you might be behind the trend when it comes to buying a house this year. So in 2026, yes, if you do have an agent who has these type of technology, not necessarily abilities, but has the software at his fingertips or her fingertips, these are the ways you will get advantage over the market to other people.
And I feel like even at our office, when we're just talking in the office, hey, I'm about to go list this, hey, I'm about to go this, that. I feel like you're helping your buyers as well because you know what's going to come on the market.
Definitely. And this is why we try to share around, especially within RE/MAX, let people know what's coming, what do we have, what are people looking for. We have a great group chat. And so with that group chat, we bring our buyers into that, say what they're looking for, if you have something or know somebody. So teamwork makes the dream work. Networking is everything. So that is definitely a great thing that we have here. And same thing with that reinforces why you need to have an agent, why you need to have somebody who's connected and know people. Because if you don't, you're just basically dealing with somebody fighting the world when you could definitely get a leg up by knowing a few things. Right?
Start with the seller.
Now for the seller tip for the day, I want to kind of switch gears and talk about what to expect at closing. So when we are closing on a property, some people just see this number $400,000, $500,000. They think that's what they're going to walk away with. There's so many fees and things that go into an actual closing that a good agent will let you know about a seller net sheet. So ask your agent about that if you haven't talked to an agent, or if you're selling your property right now and you haven't received a seller net sheet from me or anybody else. It is a great way to break down what you'll actually walk away with, because most people don't understand that your mortgage payoff is coming from this. Your closing costs, your transfer taxes, your repairs, the concessions you committed to, the compensation you agreed to give the agents who are on the deal. These things are going to take away from your bottom number. Now, not to say that this isn't the time to sell, I'm just trying to say that this is the time to evaluate what you would actually get when you walk away if you took the time to understand these things before putting your house on the market. I can't tell you how many times we've had conversations where somebody was trying to sell and then come to find out they were going to break even because they owe so much to their mortgage that it actually doesn't make sense to sell right now. So have those questions, talk to your agent about these things. And at the end of the day, selling your home shouldn't really be about getting a top dollar. It's about putting yourself in the best position for the next transition of your life. So if you're trying to move to a better house, if you need more space, if you need something different that your current house isn't providing, maybe making $10,000 to $40,000 off of this sale isn't as important as having your credit score correct. Having that on your credit score, showing that you've paid off these debts, showing that you've made these payments back. Maybe just getting the deal done puts you better in a credit space to move to the next house. So that's my seller tip for the day. So when you're actually selling your home, talk to your agent about these things. Try to figure out what you would actually walk away with at the end, and then from there, decide what you're gonna do. I know I saw it too. So the screen looks like it cut out again, but we're gonna keep going because we do have other cameras rolling. So if you guys do see us in the Facebook world, that is awesome. If not, we might just be like, for 5-6 minutes, but it's okay. Is there anything that you want to tell the people? Any listings, anything exciting coming up?
I don't have anything new listing anytime soon. And I still have the same properties: the Ferry, Main Street, big warehouse in Bel Air, and then I also have my commercial down the road in St. Clair as well. So those are my top 3 right now.
Yeah, I got one in Adena. It's 85,000, 90,000, something like that. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I have a St. Clairsville. We just went to market, $299. Bellsville, listing out there. So we have a few of them going. A few more on the way.
Buyers right now for sure. I feel like I probably have 10 buyers.
There's going to be a bunch coming. I mean, we're going to keep giving tricks for you guys to own homes. So I assume there's going to be way more people who are going to be buying this year. Like I said, we do have these little apps at Remax. So if you are interested in getting some type of advantage when it comes to the buying and selling process, reach out to us because we have some tools to give you guys to weaponize you to put you in a better position. But in the meantime, we are definitely looking at a black screen on Facebook. So
hopefully it's recording. It says 0 viewers. So
we are definitely recording on other cameras, but the live feed is kind of crazy. But we're gonna test it out. We'll be in Vegas next week. So you will see this before we go there. But until next time,
we'll catch you guys later.
We'll catch you guys later.